against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand on that evil day, and having done everything, to stand firm. Stand therefore, and fasten the belt of truth around your waist, and put on the breastplate of righteousness. As shoes for your feet, put on whatever will make you ready to proclaim the gospel of peace. With all of these, take the shield of faith, with which you are able to quench all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Thanks be to God. Looking out, I'm very pleased to see such a variety of uniforms. I'm pleased to see the young, the brownies and the guides, the cubs and the scouts. I'm pleased to see the air cadets and others. I'm pleased to see the Mounties. I'm pleased in a very special way to see the veterans who remain among us. Inside of every uniform, there is a human being. Inside of these uniforms, there are children and women and men. And the thing I would like to call to your mind, that just like children, women, and men all over the earth, the heart longs for peace. We are now aware that things are changing in our world. We remember what went before, and we trust that this remembering will strengthen us to face the future with the same commitment, the same courage of all those who gave themselves to serve a purpose greater than themselves, the purpose of freedom, the purpose of justice, the purpose of peace. I recognize that there are persons here who do not wear uniforms, who are dressed in what we will call civilian attire. What I would like to suggest is that all of us together at this time are being called to make real in our priorities and commitments the line from the song in our national anthem, "We stand on guard for thee." And by saying we stand on guard, I mean for you to understand that each of you has a responsibility for the future. My great hope is that in the earth just now, persons of all kinds are rising up, dedicating themselves to make a difference. When I think of those who have enlisted to serve their country in every manner of way, whether in the military, whether in the police force, whether as educators or healthcare professionals, my trust is that all have in their hearts made the decision to turn aside from business as usual. That's what the young men and women who signed up to serve their country did. They put down their rights to pleasure. They put down their rights to do as they wished. They put down their rights to be who they wanted to be. And they gave themselves to something bigger than themselves. I would like you to understand that now is a time in the human history requiring of us to make a clear decision for priorities and commitments that will serve the well-being of our homes, our neighborhoods, our communities, our country, and our world. We are citizens, and citizens have responsibilities. And the primary responsibility of each and every one of us is to search our hearts and to ask, What can I do to make the difference for which the world is so hungry just now? In many of the battles of times past, the front line was over there somewhere. The front line is now right here. We no longer know if we walk into a McDonald's or into a church or into any public place, we no longer can be assured that we will walk out in safety, because the power which is intimidating and terrorizing the world is now spread out everywhere. It's like a pernicious weed. So I encourage you, be good gardeners. Identify the threat before it presents itself as violence. Be sober, be vigilant. The primary adversary we face as human beings is those who are hungry and thirsty for power above all else. Those who insist that their way is the only way and all must submit and subordinate themselves to that way. I would like to suggest to you that just now on planet Earth, there is only one thing that is of primary importance: our care for one another as human beings, our care for the stranger in our midst, our care for the immigrant, our care for the poor, our care for the sick, so that we as a people may show the world what a free, democratic, responsible country looks like. It's a country that cares deeply about others, cares so deeply that we as citizens are willing to put aside our personal privileges and rights in service to the common good. I hear that little child in the room, and I trust you do too. I would like you to know that everywhere on the planet, mothers and fathers are praying, longing for the world to become a place where their children, their grandchildren, and their grandchildren's children may grow up in health and happiness. Let us remember those who came before us. Let us remember those who gladly paid the price. Let us stand in solidarity with them. Let us say, here I am. Let me be used for the goodness that the earth needs so much just now. God being our helper, Canada will become a light to the nations. Canada will become a beacon, a sign and a symbol of what is possible for the whole human family. God be with you as you seek your way forward in confidence. Amen.